there, welcome back to my channel. My name is SKYMAN, your Star Wars quote for today. An elegant weapon for a more civilized age. Welcome back, straight after our previous episode. It's so great that they've released 2 episodes in one day. I like that kind of upload schedule. This is episode 7 of Bad Batch. Straight off, literally then being hunted by the Shadow Trooper. And that whole episode was really good. I expressed how much I love that episode. And I really feel at this point in the series that it's really kicking off. It feels like there's a lot of things that are at play, like the Finding Omega, the Metachlorian things, and it's good that we're not getting the M count, we're not getting bogged down in all that, considering where it might lead to, you know, with the projects in the end. But I don't mind about that so far because we're not in that time period in the future Star Wars anyway, so now it's all, you know, it's all fine. And if I saw what they're doing now, without knowledge of where it leads to, like with Snoke and the Palpatines and clones and everything at the end, then I'd still be really excited and feel like that's a juicy story plot anyway, so without knowing what's happening later on. So that still makes it interesting because it's Palpatine, basically. Yeah, and then we've got Rex and the saving of the clones and more clones joining up, and it's really cool dynamic to see like these band of post-Order 66 clones and how they sort of revert back to normal. And I think it's such a cool storyline, and it gives so much potential, untapped potential as well, for where this story can go and all the cool things that we might see and might happen. Previous episode, they're literally escaping that place. If I'm to speculate for this one, Empire turns up, so I assume that it's going to be a big old escape thing. I hope they don't actually get Omega and then have to rescue her again, but I think all paths will eventually lead to the Dr. Hemlock and his facility there as well, which would be really cool. Whether it's they turn up there with a plan with Omega, or they take Omega and they have to do a rescue, and whilst they're there they have to and save as many clones as possible. There's a lot of cool things which are happening right now, so I'm very excited to watch. Let's enjoy. Distraction. You're telling me I could find Jabba at Jabba's palace? Oh. That's some good armor you've got there. I thought you were definitely a goner. I think they're great characters as well.
Hilo, set blasters to stun and move in. We're moving in.
So even the clone leader, who's meant to be bad, gives the impression that he's turning good as well. Oh, I'm getting Revenge of the Sith vibes with all these clones.
They're coming. I'll handle it.
Go on, Crosshair. You handle it. What the hell is that little thing?
Five for an extraction. Repeat. Marker
I hope Echo turns up with a load of clones. Just completely overwhelms me.
Yes.
Stay close. It's easy to get lost in this terrain.
You're as bad as Hunter.
Oh, I'm much worse. Echo should meet us at the extraction point. We'll have to continue on foot.
See, that's what I like with Crosshairs,
North.
with him being good. That's right, send in the guy who disobeys every single order. Just leave him. The fact that he's still hunting them, he's not 100%. He's an odd one. Come on.
We have to knock through their line to reach the extraction point.
That could have been your ship. And they don't mind about killing other clones. Means they were going to set you for stun. There's a small part of me that thought that they were going to switch sides.
To the landing zone. Just ahead. Almost there.
Come on, Crosshair. I really thought something bad was going to happen to him.
Too bad.
Don't let something bad happen to Crosshair.
Go now!
Man, I feel so on edge. Like I don't want anything to happen to him. Don't do this to me. A river for you to fall down and... Oh no, it's gonna happen, isn't it? Please don't happen. No, not with them all watching. I think we all secretly know it's not gonna end well for Crosshairs. I just hope we're all wrong. Oh god, it's on this off as well.
You to be one of
Don't do it.
their own side.
So Amiga's got a crossbow. No way. No, don't do that to me. Seriously, if that went wrong, that would have sucked so much. Like, I really would have put it down on the rest of the series for me. Freaking hell. Imagine like a Venator class that comes out. Come on. This is what I love so much.
I thought you were dead.
I am a soldier of the Empire. I have my orders. Hand the girl over,
Good
and I'll make
soldiers.
sure you're given a fair trial.
Venator class, come on.
Unmarked vessel inbound.
Imagine if it was. That would be so cool. Come on, Wolf. See what I mean? It's so juicy. Like, this story. Like, all these clones defecting. Yeah. Dave Filoni's squadron. Squad. Don't be this thing where you keep surviving. Just be done with. Ugh. Means you're coming back after Crosshair.
You need to find out why she's so important to them.
We know why. Unless we don't, which makes it even better. Another good episode with the escape, but I just really didn't like that bit with Crosshair. Just, it almost seemed like everything just seemed so pointless for just the tiniest second. Like, waited all that time to get Crosshairs back and then to see him on the edge, that it could have gone horribly wrong like that. And it just made me think, just had subvert expectations in my head. And I do not want that at a time like this where I waited so long for Crosshairs to be back, and the dream to have all Bad Batch together and hoping that Tech is still alive. There is always that thing in Star Wars where if you die in Star Wars, stop bringing them back, because anyone could keep coming back. But I'm really hoping that just the way Tech went, that there's just some way he fell, but it's Tech. He's maybe had a plan. I don't know. Nearly overpowering Crosshairs was just a bit too much for me, and I was hoping that was it. He was gone, but now he's back. And what they could have done just to, I know this way they made it a bit more personal that someone's on your tail, but if there was just to show that they're sort of disposable and there's another one on their tail, because we already know how powerful they are with what we've just seen, that kind of would have been pretty good as well. There's something really creepy about their armor. It's like done in a sort of, I'm not saying it's a beautiful way, but it's kind of, it has elements of that where it doesn't look like as rugged or as imposing as a clone or stormtrooper design. It just looks a bit like something Ventress would wear, but then it gives this really eerie I don't know what it is. Like, I just remember Shadow Troopers out Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and they had the black suit with the green crystal on their chest. And they were, when you saw one of those, you think, oh, for God's sake, like, here goes my health. And this is a sort of, the design is a bit, like, you wouldn't think it's creepy, but it is. And it's just another clever thing they've done. They've made yet another protagonist which you don't like. But yeah, seeing Rex interact with Wolf and that whole sort of dilemma at the end, there's going to be a lot of that. And yeah, the sort of changing minds of the Order 66, post-Order 66 clones is what I really like, because it's like the clones that we loved during the Clone Wars and see how loyal they are, and giving them all these backstories and sort of explaining it all and the reasons why they're turning into stormtroopers as well. I just want to see that point where it's like all clones have, inhibitor chips worn off, all clones have eventually defected, except the ones that are conditioned, and then it's kind of like too late because the Empire have gone on a massive recruiting thing for stormtroopers, and then you're just going to get loads of stormtroopers and you see the full might of the Empire, and that, my God, that would be such a tragedy for the clones, just to see this huge bombardment of Empire versus all the clones scattered around and Rex's forces together. I mean, come on, that would just be crazy, like, emotional, and yeah, could lead to these epic battles because we know what the clones are capable of. But yeah, I don't know why I kind of thought that Cody was going to be with Echo there, and I just said, is that him? But no. And I hope that there's a base which they're all on together, even though their base just got destroyed, but it's going to be something a bit more larger and give them more of a chance to take on the facility. You know that it's spread in a galactic scale, all the defections, and there's millions of clones everywhere. So yeah, it's a really juicy point in the story. Like I said at the start of reacting to season 3 of Bad Batch, like that review said they watched up to episode 8 and it was a banger. And I think so far it's been like that, as for a story perspective anyway. Like the stories, I feel like it's progressed into nice areas. I think which separates Bad Batch from like other stories is that the other stories had, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Maul, Palpatine. You had all the big characters, whereas this, it hasn't relied heavily on all those big main characters. I mean, we've had Palpatine that's shown, or the Emperor that's shown up, but then we've had Rex and the Clone Wars and things. But it's nice to see the clones sort of stand in their own 2 feet, and you still have that direct interest in all the stories and what's going to happen next, sort of thing. And the whole thing with Amiga, it's done very well. I didn't think I'd be invested in it as much as I thought I would be, and care as much for Crosshairs as I thought I would as well. So there's lots of cool things in these series, in these episodes at the moment. Be sure to let me know your favourite bits and what you thought about this episode and where you think it's going to go in the next episode now, because you can either get to the facility or you can go to like another hideout or something like that, or they go on separate adventures. But basically Rex and Bad Batch are together, so it leads to some interesting potential further down the line. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. I do enjoy that double episode, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. So until next week, take care of yourself. Remember, the Force will be with you